Every now and then when I feel a bit buggy, I look at the floor, man, I need a new ruggy. Scratch that, I'll get some beers and get chuggy. Nah, man, I know what I need, some more Man Huggie. Oh, Man Huggie. More Man Huggie. Put your headphones on for perfect audio quality, motherfucker.
Recording in progress.
What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy Andrew Schultz, aka Mr. Goody Two Shoes, and who am I with as always? Quentin Huggins, aka Old Man Huggy. Talk shit or get off the pod, episode 177. We got the Cryptator in the White House, Joseph. I didn't see the title. Motherfuckers.
I made the title, Who Needs Human Rights?
Oh, there you go.
But we all do. That's the whole point.
How are you?
Man, I've fucked this title up. I gotta fix it real quick. Busy as shit, man. They've been bought that house. They were destroying it. I sent you some pictures. I had some dudes with like backhoes and stuff tearing up my yard.
You got some hoes out back?
It was fucking fantastic. Gonna start moving in. I've already started moving in, but it'll be like probably 2 episodes from now. I should be in the new studio room. Super excited about that. So yeah, it's been stressful, but great. But I'm alive. I saw you had a pretty good run on some poker, by the way. You sent me a wild ass photo the other day.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Please elaborate.
So this is how you churn $5 into $605, y'all. I entered into, so I played some poker this weekend. I entered into I went and played on Saturday. It was a grind. I actually cashed out, so I bought in 100. I cashed out 260. But after that, I got home and the shorty was watching Coachella, the live stream. So I put it on as well. Like she's over at her house, I'm at my house. But I entered, and then so we're like texting back and forth like while we're watching it. But I entered into an online poker tournament, $5 knockout tournament, 87 people, and I get second place, which is first and second get the exact same payout. It's just whoever wins gets all of the rest of the bounties that are left over. So I knocked out like 11 people and got second. So that total was $77. And then I turned that $77. I took some of that and played more online and turned it into 120. And then I cashed out that 100 or 100 out of that and directly cashed it out of that online poker account from that tournament and went to the ATM, took out that $100 and went to the poker room and cashed out $605 2 hours later.
Dude, that's crazy. Like, congrats. You sent me that photo, and I was like, bro, out of control.
I was like, like not to sound like I'm just texting my girlfriend all the time, but maybe I am. But I was like actually like texting her. Like usually I'm not like texting a lot like at the table, and I'm like just texting her like a bunch. I'm not like really like I am paying attention, but it just like I was like in the middle of that, and then all of a sudden it's just like boom, I had this like pile of chips in front of me and I just like take a picture and send it to her. She's like, damn. And then I got another one and I sent it to her and she was like, that looks like the same one. I was like, trust me, it's not. It's like uh dude, it was crazy. Like uh I have like a strategy when you get like on a little bit of a run to like go from like a little run to like a big run.
Yeah.
And where it's like so you like catch hands or like so I was like betting like when I had like a good hand I was like getting my because like everybody at the table was like limping in like putting in 2 4 so like be like 5 people would have like 4 chip like all called four like somebody straddled so it'd be like $20 in there and I'd be like and I'd have ace queen and I'd be like 24 and then like people are like like, I kind of like my hand, and like, so now all of a sudden they're putting in 24 instead of 4. So then, like, and I've got the, and then I got the best hand. Otherwise, they would have raised. Like, if they had a hand like that, like, or maybe not. But point being, so then, like, when I won, like, it's like a bigger pot.
Yeah.
But then, like, because I'm doing that, they're like, oh, this motherfucker, there's no way he's catching another hand. So like, I'll like make it like, I'll like over bet to like get people to like think that I'm just like, feeling lucky, like on, like rolling, like gambling, not really playing poker.
Yeah.
But really, I'm setting them up. I'm like playing into it. It's like, no, I actually really have a good hand. Like, it's like I'm not even like gonna hide that I have a good hand anymore. I'm gonna just like put in like 30. Yeah. So then I had 480, and I put it like all, like I was like getting ready to go. I was like, all right, that was good. I wanted to stay. I was only there for like, so I sort of like putting my shit in the racks, like with like I've been there for like an hour and a half, and I want to stay, but it's like, no, like I get out of here, like, I quadrupled up, like, because like I've been there where I've like had like 450, $500, and then was sitting in my car like 3 hours later with nothing. And it's like, fuck, dude, like how did that happen? And it's like, and I was like, remember that feeling, because like you don't want that feeling, but you also like want, like, you're never gonna like walk away with 1,000 if you're just always leaving at 400. So there's that too. But so I was thinking about leaving, put it in the racks. All of a sudden, I get dealt 7-6 clubs on the button. So like that's the last to act, like around the table. Um, so somebody like raised it to like 8. I was like, yeah, I'll call. And it's 3 of us in the hand, and then the next 3 cards, or the 3 cards on the flop, are all clubs in the club, like 50 cent. And the first guy bets 40, like, because he's like on tilt, because like I just have like this stack in front of me, and I'm just like kind of like running the table, and he's like trying to, like, he's like, there's no way that this guy's got a hand, I'm gonna get him out. He goes 40, and then the guy who's like in between us goes, I'm all in, out of turn. And I was like, well, it's my turn. And like, I was like, I'm all in. And then he goes, okay, I'm all in. And then, so then the first guy's got more chips, and he's like, fuck. And then he's like, and then he goes, call like $60 more. He calls, because I cover both of them. I didn't even count how many chips they had. And he's like, calls. And then I just flip over my hand, and they just both get knocked out of the table. I fill up 2 more racks of chips and then leave.
Yeah, and they saw you filling up your racks, so they're just like, I'm gonna try to cop a quick something off this dude because he's still at the table. So I'm gonna try to get something back before he goes. That's funny.
Get this though. So every 3 months they raffle off a brand new truck. If you've been there, so if you have logged 100 hours of playing time, because they scan their player cards every hour, and you get like $1 towards like food with it as well. But it also, if you get to 100 within a 3 month period, you get a raffle ticket to go, and then they take, one person wins the truck. The lady sitting next to me at the table the whole time, she won the truck the day before.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, is it a nice truck? Like,
Yeah, it's super nice. Like, so the first, like, when I started going there, like when I was like grinding every single day, uh, I got 195 hours, so I missed 2 raffle tickets by 5 hours, and I was there for one time for like 11 hours, and I left my player's card like at the dispensary somehow, like it fell out of my pocket, and so I didn't have it, so like right there. And so whenever they did the drawing, also they called 5 different people, because the first 5 people, or 6 different people, because the first 5 people weren't there. So they like said your name. If you weren't if you're not in the room, you don't get it.
damn.
Yeah, so like that day, that is packed. Like, uh, I found that out because it was like one of the first times I was going there, and I showed up on, like, it's always on a Tuesday. It's like the first Tuesday after the 3 months, and I showed up, and it was just like fucking line out the door, like the wait list forever. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then but then they said Andy or Andrew, um, And I just pretended like that was me, and I got a table like quickly, but it was like a 6 hour wait or something.
Jesus.
Yeah. Anyways,
You know you're
so
making money at the players club whenever you're fucking raffling off a truck every 3 months. That's crazy.
yeah, they even have like a billboard like out on like the freeway. Like it's like a big promotion. I don't know. It sounds like, I mean, it's kind of hard to get, dude. Like unless you're playing poker like I am, like you're 100 hours in 3 months is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, what does that break down to? You're paying. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a shit
Yeah.
ton. Just to get one raffle ticket's like 10 hours a week.
But yeah, well, there wasn't that many. It's like I think it was like less than 200 people that like were in the raffle when I was in it.
That's
Uh,
worth it. That's worth
Yeah, I
it.
know.
Then.
So then they're calling six. They're pulling 6 tickets out, and if I had two, how much greater are my chances?
Oh, probably way higher.
So much. Okay, and so speaking of having like 400 and losing it, that day, I was up like 450, and I was continuing to play, waiting till they did the raffle, and then like ended up losing a lot of it.
Lost all the money and didn't leave
That-
with the truck.
Yeah, that was like a year ago.
That'd be brutal. But that's a pretty sweet gig, man. I mean, that sounds worth it. That sounds like it's fucking worth it.
Ran it up quickly.
What kind of truck is it? Is it like a Chevy?
Yeah.
Chevy Silverado, I'm sure. Easy,
Yeah,
easy to steal. Easy to steal. Those things get...
I'd sell it on the fucking poker floor. I'd start an auction right there, and then and I'd sell it for way more than it was worth. I get people hyped up about it. Like, who wants this fucking truck? Like because there's gamblers in the fucking room, like with cash.
True. Now, that truck is probably worth, because the cars have just gone up so much with inflation, you'd walk away with a fuck ton of money. If it's a nice Chevy Silverado, those are like $70K now, man. Those aren't cheap. Those trucks are crazy expensive. You can't get a nice truck for like 40 grand anymore. It's not 2008. Those are super expensive. Like, people sign their lives away to get those trucks. Like a Z71, yada, yada, yada. But like I said, easily stolen, easily broken into. That's like a whole thing right now. I'm serious. That's all. Is
that the Kia boys?
Yeah, kind of. There's like an epidemic of people stealing these trucks. They steal them out of people's driveways. There's some weird thing you can do. I'm no shit with a Game Boy Advance. There's stuff you can do with a flipper. There's things that you can do where they're easily cloned. The key fobs, you can clone them, so people will auto start them from like a fucking Nintendo DS and drive off in them all the time. Those are like super. Those cars are constantly broken into and stolen. Is those Chevy Silverados?
I'm trying to pull it up. See.
But no shit, man. I have been grinding my ass off on this house. Found a stone patio buried underneath essentially weeds. What you would...
Yeah, it's a Chevy Silverado.
Yeah. Called it. These...
Dude?
I found probably about like $2,000 worth of like stones buried under what you would think is grass, but was overgrown. So somebody who had this house years ago had a stone patio that they didn't like put any gravel or anything in between, and then it got the person that bought the house before I bought it from the guy who fixed it up. He had no idea it was there, but I was like tilling up this flower bed in the back, and I hit this big ass like 100-pound chunk of limestone. Come to find out, there's about 200 fucking rocks. Like, the guy who's doing my fence is like, that's about like $2,000 worth of stone. Just like buried
What?
under the... No, dude, because they're like...
Who are all these guys that you talk to that just give you like weird estimates? You're like, yo,
contractors, man.
Yo, that's like $8,000 worth of chimney work right there, dog.
No, dude, for reals,
Yo,
because...
yo, that's $2,000 worth of stone. Like, how the fuck does he know?
It's like,
is
I'm
this
not
a mason out there, dude?
No, he's a contractor. He like builds houses and does work. But it was somebody's old stone patio that I've removed all the stones. I had to do it with a pickaxe. It was a pain in the fucking ass. But I mean, I'm telling you, I've got like 20 to 25 stones that are big, flat, that weigh about 120 pounds a piece of limestone. I've got like 200 something
Bro, are you
pieces.
building your own pyramid now?
No, I mean I'm gonna be building some shit. Like it's like crazy. It's insane. So and it looked like I could show you the before and after pictures where the ground looks really raised up, and then when I pulled them out, everything's ground level. Like it took me hours. I mean, some of these rocks you have to move with the dolly. Like they were back there with this backhoe tearing up my old fence. He's scraping all the weeds and all this shit off the ground. Like basically, my backyard's a big patch of dirt now, and it's fantastic. But to do it, I had to move these rocks again because I had them all laid out, and I was like hosing them off and trying to clean them because I'm gonna make a footpath out of them. But even the guy doing my fence,
That's what you're gonna do?
yeah, man. What? Or I'm gonna sell them on Facebook Marketplace like a boomer? Like, nah, dude. I'm gonna fucking use this shit. So
I know, but like, what made you? How come you're so quick to the path?
because some of them are, I don't know what else to use them for.
Did the contractor say, hey, those would be good for a footpath?
It's either that or I build
Did he
another.
say that to you?
No,
Did he say that to you?
No, he
Okay.
didn't. He was just like what he called was he's like, man, those are buried treasures. That's a fuck ton of rocks. He's like, that's like an absurd amount. I would never go to Lowe's and buy this much, and like they're huge, man. I'm telling you, it would take two of us to move it. I was having to use a dolly. He was watching me stack these up by hand,
So
and he's
is
like,
this another thing that the guy who built the house didn't know about?
yes, he had no idea
Wow,
it was
dude.
there.
Wow.
I sent a picture to my real estate guy, and he was like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, dude, they had a patio that they just let get grown over, so it looked like the whole backyard was weeds.
What kind of thorough job is this guy doing? Like, if he's just like like he like builds houses and he just like,
I'll
had no
send
idea
you-
that like half the shit on his property exists?
Offline, I'll send you the picture of what the backyard looked like from Google Earth, and it was a fucking jungle, dude. These people had this house. The inside of the house is beautiful. All this works, and the backyard, he just chopped it all down. Like, there's no way you would know it was there unless you were being weird like me and digging up flower beds. I was digging up a
now
flower
that the
bed.
Iranians are listening to the podcast, like I don't know if you should be talking about like you're gonna send me a Google Earth like geolocation of your new home.
Just to you. I ain't worried about it.
Maybe through Signal.
Yeah, and shout out Iran, dude. Listening to the pod, maybe.
I mean, you threw a question in there like, should we go to war with Iran? And I was just like, boom,
But
like
we
on
know
the rankings.
hey, if we get taken out because of this podcast, I mean that would be a shitty way to go, but also kind of cool. Like people would backlog, they'd be like, "Dang, they died after episode 196, and we can go back
That's
and
not that long from now, dude.
hey, man, who knows? Anything's possible."
196.
Then they'd be like, "We got to go back in time
Less
and
than 20 weeks.
see what they said." Like, oh man, I had to be the comments they made on Vlad Body. It had to be on Vlad Body episode or from Russia with the Love
We
Bone.
got hits. We got hits.
Yeah, like we've got hit titles.
I was thinking of we should maybe like incorporate like a prediction, like you each make a prediction for the week, because that's what they do on Pivot. And then I was thinking about how when we do make a prediction and it comes true.
We've done that a couple times.
Well, we should start making more predictions.
Yeah, we should.
Something to think about.
We should. I'm not opposed to it. I don't know about right now for
I'm
this week.
gonna invent a male birth control pill. Call it predicaments.
That would be pretty good. Don't come.
I'm gonna come.
Don't come. Do not come. I'm gonna come. That's such a great meme. No, I'll send you, dude. It's crazy. They're big ass, 100-pound stones of limestone.
You're gonna send me some of the stones?
I'll send you some of the picture. No, I mean I had to like hide that shit because this
You
is
had to hide it. You're hiding the stones, and you said how much do they weigh? And you're carrying these around and putting them in a hiding place. I thought they were already hidden.
they were. I exposed them. So let me tell you this.
Oh my!
I've got awesome fucking neighbors on both sides of me. I've got this ZZ Top looking crazy motherfucker. Like I could tell in the beginning when I was out there doing stuff, they're like, "Oh, who's this guy doing yard work?" And I'm like, "I bought the house." They do not seem into me purchasing this house being across the street from them. They look for excuses to like watch what I'm doing. So I'll be up front like cleaning up the driveway and pulling weeds and killing anthills. And this lady across the street will straight up walk outside in her front yard staring at me, turn on a hose, spray like a little patch of grass in her front yard for 2 seconds while staring at me, turn it off, walk inside. I can see them standing in their window watching me do stuff at my new house. Both of them. Or I'll get there and the blinds will move and I know they're watching me because the blinds will move and I can see them close them real quick.
Well, you're new. So, I mean, you know.
Think I'm the only black guy on the street too.
Okay. I mean, you bought a house in Texas, dude. You didn't do your due diligence.
Eagles flags going up.
You didn't go around the neighborhood and look for Confederate flags?
No.
Well, maybe you should have thought about that.
No, because I'm antagonistic.
As your realtor, I would have thought about that.
If that was the case, I would have bought that house. I would have been like, oh yeah, I have the nice.
Okay. But I mean, just know what you're getting into.
No, I know. So like they were watching me pull these, and from the windows that they watch me from, you could see them, and I was like, I gotta move this shit. I don't trust this ZZ Top looking motherfucker. He's gonna come over here with his Duck Dynasty ass and try to steal my rocks, dude.
Maybe you guys are gonna be best friends, dude. You just don't know yet.
No, because I've waved at him and he just like looks at me and goes and gets in his car and drives away. He does not seem into it at all, which is pretty great. And then one of my neighbors is like, "Oh no, like they're fucking crazy and they watch us all the time." And so we'll catch them watching us while I'm talking to my new neighbors out in the front. They'll be like, "Oh, because I chopped down a bunch of trees. I chopped down all these trees along my fence line."
Chopping down trees, dude.
Not me, not today. There was a bunch of guys who did. They're too big. It was like too dangerous. So these guys did. They're huge.
Oh, so you were just lying? You weren't chopping down trees?
I did the ones that I could. I did the ones that I could safely chop down. I did those. The ones that are like me times 2 and got like poison ivy and shit on them. Like, nah, bro. And they're grown. They're grown through this chain link fence. So he was ripping this shit out with a backhoe.
Was Greg Abbott around that you could maybe chop one down on top of them?
No, I mean, I guess he couldn't sue me now because he changed that law. But
that's right.
No, but I thought about that. I was like, bro, if I'm out here chopping these huge trees, some of these big fuck off trees by myself, I'm gonna end up like Greg Abbott. It'll be my fault. Mm-hmm. So now they're all gone, and he ripped up the chain link fence today. But I'm the black dude on the street that's got like a backhoe, a wood chipper, got like 8 people in his backyard just tearing shit down. The yard was bad. The yard was bad.
If that happened to you, if you became like you got hit by a tree branch and then you became
Greg Abbott,
would you run for office?
Black Abbott.
Would you feel the need to run if you became a paraplegic?
True, I would run.
Would you say it's a sign from God that you need to be the governor of Texas?
I would run strictly to so I could run against him.
Well, you wouldn't be running anywhere. You'd be.
Yeah, I'd roll up to the debate stage just to debate him and be like, I'm a black guy in a wheelchair, just to like throw him. I think that'd throw him off his game. I think he's got that Hot Wheel angle that most people don't. Therefore, they feel like they got to go easy on him, like, oh, you know. But then it's like, oh shit, like this dude's a minority and he's in a wheelchair. Like, fuck, like, you know.
Drake.
I might like start talking with a British accent and be gay. Then it'd just be like a whole nother thing. So I'd be like a gay guy in a wheelchair with the British accent who's black running for governor. I think that would just like flip the script. That would change the game. We'd win Harris County for sure. Harris County would. It doesn't matter how many voting booths you close. They'll all roll up, son. They'll all roll up. I'm going to get to the top and I'm going to leave the ramp for them to come up behind me. I'm not going to pull the ramp up, dude. Not like Abbott. No way. Absolutely not.
I like that as a campaign.
That would be wild if somebody actually did that on a debate stage. Was like, Greg Abbott got hit by a tree branch, sued them, and then he pulled the ramp up. If somebody like said that shit,
I think you like that's like table stakes in Texas politics, dude. Like, also real quick, I heard your boy Ken Paxton is running for. He's going to primary your senator John Cornyn.
John Cornyn's a piece of shit too. What
I know, but can you imagine?
That's
that's the problem, bro. Is I
It's
could
bubble
see John
guts
Cornyn,
versus diarrhea.
I
Like
could
what?
see John Cornyn losing to him, and now we got Ken Paxton as a fucking U.S.
This
senator.
crazy fucking eye, dude. I can't stand Ken Paxton. You know he's from Collin County, Texas. That is like the bane of my existence. I fucking hate that guy. Garbage. All of them. And everybody in Texas knows it. Everybody makes fun of Greg Abbott. It doesn't matter who you are in Texas. No one's like, not Greg Abbott's the guy. He's the best. He's our best option. No one says that. What's even crazy is, what was her name? The Texas governor for a long ass time before it was George W. Bush. Is it Ann Richards?
Kim Richards?
Was it? I thought it was Ann Richards.
No, Kim Richards might be a Real Housewife. Ann Richards, yeah.
Ann Richards was like G as fuck. She was awesome. Yeah. She was great. And then we got Bush, and then we got Rick Fake Glasses Perry. Good Lord.
Listen, like
that pivot was huge.
You coined the phrase "clown car full of chuckle fucks," and
yeah,
right now, you like Texas. Everybody you're putting out there, like on like the big boy stage, is terrible. Whether it's your governor Greg Abbott, your attorney general Ken Paxton, and both your senators Ted Cruz and John Cornyn, like you guys can't get shit right. And I'm like, everybody out here in California is like, oh, well, you know, like maybe like Texas will turn blue. Meanwhile, you have like the worst Republicans in office.
Yeah, they're up there. What's weird too is John Cornyn doesn't say much. To just let Ted Cruz go out there because he's like the better looking one, I guess, or he's like more.
What are you talking?
I don't know.
The world is Ted Cruz good looking?
I'm just saying, like, think about it. Like, you don't really hear from John Cornyn as much as.
So bad, dude. Listen to what you're saying.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm trying to rationalize why we hear from Ted Cruz.
Is the good looking one.
I'm trying to rationalize why we hear from Ted Cruz more than we hear from Cornyn.
When
it's like that's like I said, it's
Al Franken. Al Franken was the senator from Minnesota, and he said that he goes, I like Ted Cruz probably more than most of the other senators, and I hate Ted Cruz.
I did like when he had his long hair and like that beard and looked goofy as fuck. Like Ted Cruz is so bad, but
somebody also said, hold on, somebody also said that Ted Cruz could get like murdered on the Senate floor, and there'd be no witnesses.
Then no one would try to.
Nobody would stop it.
And nobody would stop the guy. They'd be like, wait, like nobody touch him, let him leave. He deserves at least a 5-month head start. Get out of here, man. You're crazy, but we appreciate it.
And then the QAnon shaman was like, what? Cool.
Yeah. Give me 5, man.
Let me try.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. You could do some Senate shit like who is it who beat the fuck out of somebody on the Senate floor with a cane or Congress? Those old school stuff.
I don't know if we know his name. Like he's like I've heard his name and like like 3 times in my life.
Hatcher or something like that. Like beat the shit out of somebody in front of everyone.
For like this guy was like a he wanted to keep slaves.
Yeah, I was to say definitely a racist. If you're beating somebody with a cane in public, you have racist tendencies. I don't care what time period it is. I got hit by that old man with a cane. He's probably racist.
I don't know. What if you're like a pimp with a cane?
That's different. First of all,
is that black people taking it?
Because he's probably not going to be in public office. I'm talking about like if you're involved in any form of legislation.
You said any time in history, or if you're hitting somebody with a cane, that you're racist.
Okay. Well, we can maybe I could see a pimp being racist.
Oh, for sure.
Pimps are definitely racist, sexist, and misogynistic for sure.
100%.
But racist is not out of bounds. It's definitely that's in play.
It's required.
Just against the competition.
Yeah, because of course, like the way I'm sure he's like talking about like
different employees. Well, good man. I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad you're making money. You've been on a gambling tear.
Some say gambling.
What is it? What did the others say?
You know what I said when I got there to the guy? He goes, what do you want me to put your name down as? And I swear this like conversation happened right before I won all that money. I was like, he goes, I forgot your name, dude. I go, I know. You tell me that every time I talk to you. It's like this one dealer who's working the board this time. And I was like, well, it's either Andy, Mr. Goody, the Irish Elvis, but put IRS because I'm here to collect. Tax days on Tuesday, and I came early.
Damn. See, I'd do something like Mr. McIntosh because I walked in with a blank check, son.
That's stupid.
I don't know. I'm just
a blank check, so you're gonna pay. You're gonna give us all of your money.
I just watched that movie the other day.
That sounds like you're going to write. You have a blank check that you're gonna fill out because I'm gonna take all of it.
Okay, that's fine. That makes sense.
Because I only came in with the $100 because that's all I needed.
You could say Doge. Because I'm cutting everybody's funds. Irish Elvis is pretty good, though. I like that one. All right, therapy questions. Are you ready, sir?
Yeah.
Therapy question number 1 has an article attached. Get the fuck over it. Are the CIA released documents that have been coming out recently just bullshit? I don't know if you guys have seen this. There is a recent document that came out that's released on the CIA website talking about how 22 Russian soldiers were turned to stone after an encounter with aliens. There's a declassified CIA report about an alleged UFO attack on Soviet soldiers in the dying days of the USSR has gone viral after being posted on the website. So it's saying back in 1993, which described a hostile encounter between a Russian army and a flying saucer that is said to have been taking place between 89 and 90. The story headlined Cosmic Revenge, and a Ukrainian source said that it was derived from an extensive 250 KGB file, complete with witness testimony, documentary photographs, recounts how 25 troops were participating in training drills when a flying low spaceship in the shape of a saucer passed over a Serbian base. Long story short, 5 humanoids with large heads and black eyes emerged because they shot this shit down. Then they morphed into one big, bright spherical orb and turned 23 of these men into stones. Like, eradicated these dudes like Medusa. Turned them into stones. This is on the CIA website. If you look this up right now, the first thing that it pops up with isn't the news articles. It's the CIA website posting of this document. Shit's insane. I think half of this shit's just misinformation bullshit.
It just got posted?
This article's from yesterday. So this came out 2 days ago. Yeah, it was just declassified.
It's by the CIA?
Yeah, the CIA released this document on their website that is based on...
So what do you mean to stone?
I don't know. They turned these motherfuckers into stone.
Maybe those are the stones that you found in your yard, dude.
Maybe I got a bunch of Spetsnaz frozen back there. I don't know.
Dude, you got some Russian a sleeper agents, and they're gonna wake up from the stone, dude.
The bodies were hold on. Then 5 short humanoids emerged with large heads, black eyes before fusing together into a single object, a spherical space, a spherical shape that emitted a sinister buzzing sound. The sphere then bursted into an explosion of brilliant white light, leaving 23 of the men turned into stone poles, while 2 remaining shielded from the blast by virtue of being stood in the shape escaped unharmed. The bodies of the victims were reportedly recovered by the Red Army and taken to a secret research laboratory outside of Moscow, where it was discovered their molecular structure was now identical to that of limestone, with the light that petrified them attributed to the energy source, an energy source not known by humanity. If the KGB file corresponds to reality, this is an extremely menacing case. An unnamed CIA analyst is quoted in saying to response to this tale, "The aliens possess such weapons and technology that go beyond all of our assumptions. They can stand up for themselves if attacked." Well, no shit. If they flew here, I think they can stand up. That's dumb. That's like being like Independence Day. I think they can fight back. Like, yeah, no shit, dude. What are you talking about?
No. Disagree. Because how about this, dude? Uh, when we go to Mars or when we went to the moon, could could the astronauts fight back if they got attacked? No.
Well, because we're just hanging out in our own backyard. We're not doing shit.
Well, you know what I'm saying though? It's like uh whatever ship it is isn't necessarily equipped to like for defense. It's like it's in space. It's like it probably doesn't think it's gonna roll up on like some nukes.
And then another person, ex-CIA agent Mike Baker, for one, expressed skepticism about the encounter, which reads like a scene from a Pulp Fiction science fiction novel. If there was an incident, regardless of the nature of the incident, I suspect that the actual report doesn't look much like this. Much like what has now come out from 6 or 7 iterations of this is probably like 6 or 7 different iterations of what it originally was. I'm sure there was something out there. I just don't think that they landed decades ago, turned Soviet soldiers into limestone, and we're just now hearing about it. I don't think that's the case. I like that guy. I don't know. President Trump said he did not believe in extraterrestrials when he appeared on Logan Paul's podcast during last year's presidential campaign. However, in a few months of his presidency, he signed an executive order demanding that all federal documents pertaining to them be declassified, exposed, or dispelled, declassified to expose or dispel rumors of any cover-up that may or may not have taken place. I kind of want this to be true, just because that'd be kind of tight. Like the idea of a bunch of Russians being turned into stone is kind of badass. But
No.
Why not?
Well, because then if that is true, don't just like release some stupid fucking document. Be like, what?
No, I would.
Like, wouldn't that be like how like couldn't we have like a more serious conversation about aliens turning people into stone if that is happening?
That's like I said. I feel like that's why the therapy question is: do you think a lot of these CIA files that are being released are bullshit? And like 100%, like half of this crap is. I feel like the CIA's just got a bunch of bullshit on file. Like how you need to keep that secret. And
Do you think they're doing it on purpose?
I mean, maybe. Hey.
Like just like giving us like
disinformation.
Yes. Like not disinformation, like necessarily, but just like here's this bullshit story. I don't know, and then just do it, and then we're like, what is this? And then eventually we just stop asking. They're like, we're just not gonna.
Like, yeah, we're done. We're out.
Because I thought they were like releasing all this. Like it seemed like there was like, oh, we're talking about aliens now, right?
Yeah.
But it's all still like kind of like fringe dudes who are the ones who are talking about it, and like nobody like who's real is like really like backing them up, you know?
Or like the unnamed CIA analyst, but then it's ex CIA guy Mike Baker's like, nah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's probably all bullshit, especially coming out of but it's a 250 page document summed up into like, I don't know, like a short story. That's a KGB document. That's kind of wild.
Well, okay.
I hope it's real. That'd be tight.
When was that supposed to have happened?
Between 89 and 90. I'm just saying, it's on the CIA website. There is a document on the CIA website talking about a bunch of Russians being turned to stone, two unharmed, with witness testimony. What? That's crazy. I saw it. They turned him to stone. Vladimir was petrified.
Come on, man. Come on, dude.
Change their molecular structure, dude. They fused into.
You're gonna trust some Russians in '89? I don't think so.
I trust a Russian in '89 more than I trust a Russian now. Yeah, I saw you nod. Yes, you totally would.
Well, specifically, yeah, '89 is like right at the fall of the Soviet Union.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
I mean,
like,
at
so
that
they're
point, why would
probably
they?
like,
Why would
yeah,
they
yeah.
lie? I don't know what
They're
they.
probably at the most honest, dude. They're probably like the brand new babies, dude, like infants.
If it was
Like,
like, oh, they got turned to stone, and then the two that survived like beat the shit out of the aliens, like you figure they would like inflate it and make themselves sound more badass. Like, nah, bro, like they just turned everybody to petrified wood and dipped. It was terrifying because it doesn't make them sound tough.
that's weird because like the other Ape was watching this movie and I came in like the middle. It was called The Gorge.
Okay, yeah, the gorge, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's what this sounds like, dude. Like they turn them into like tree monsters, or
Like an
something.
alternate
Spoiler alert.
alternate dimension area where it's like stay on your platform. Pretty crazy movie.
Yeah, and they're like guarding this like forest, and they can't let whatever's in the forest down there. And it's like soldiers from World War II that I actually like don't know how I know this much about it because I didn't see that much of it, but I think I asked him later. And they're like they're like fell into this place and became monsters. Oh no, I don't know. There's monsters down there, and then they in World War II or maybe back in the day, a bunch of soldiers tried to go in there and like clear it out, and none of them made it out alive. Like 2,000 of them. So therefore, now nobody goes in there. They just try to keep them whatever's in there in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's the whole Stephen King
In the gorge, that is.
Well, that's like The Mist, which is that Stephen King book, which is a pretty crazy movie, which with a terrible ending, like awful ending to that movie. It'll fuck you up. But where they're like Los Alamos base, which is real, and they're messing around with alternate dimensions, and they open some gate, and all these crazy creatures from another dimension show up, and it's like it always comes down to the military fucking with shit they shouldn't be fucking with. Then something bad happens and all of humanity suffers because they like open up a portal, open up a gate, like Stargate with fucking Kurt Russell. They're like, oh, we found this gate, let's go to another galaxy in another part of the universe where there's like Egyptians and nukes, and we're gonna nuke this place because they're evil and they want to destroy the planet. Like, it's always the government fucking around with shit they shouldn't fuck with that ends up as like, you know. And I think that's highly likely. That's totally possible. Government doing some weird shit, and then we all just, you know, get infested with like, I don't know, giant spiders or something weird. It's possible. If anybody,
Where do the spiders come from, bro?
that's, we don't know. The government will find out and be like, no, we got this. We can keep them back. That's always that's how it goes. If anybody's gonna crack open another dimension, it's not gonna be CERN. It's gonna be some CERN type thing we don't fucking know about, that the government's like, well, listen to this, spinning dude, and being like, we're gonna split these atoms and make something crazy. That's who's gonna do it. It's always gonna be the government, man. It's not us. We're not opening up a portal to another dimension to let like giant wasps in. It's gonna be like the DWI, you know, Secretary of Defense. He's gonna open some shit up all wasted on like, you know, Pat Van Winkle being like, yeah, let's do it. And then next thing you know, boom, giant salamanders take over the planet. That's what's gonna happen.
My algorithm in IG Reels is on the AI talking about like deep shit or whatever, like about the universe,
the ice wall, all that.
No, not the ice wall, just like I don't know. So the one I'm about to say is like it was saying that there's an ancient AI that we're all that like the powerful and the rich are working for, and we all like, and that's like where they try to like, and the ancient AI feeds off of like our energy or some shit like that.
Interesting. Well, that's what they say about reptilian shapeshifters like David Icke. It's not the vibrational levels and different dimensions. They say that like, oh, they feed off of our energy. That's what they want. They want you to be scared because that's what they feed off of, is fear. Like, that's, you know, that's not that deep. That just sounds like AI.
But like Earth is a prison
planet.
Yeah.
Well, that's possible.
And how do you keep everybody in the prison? It's like you make them feel like they're not in the prison or something like, or you make them forget that they're in it, forget that they're in the prison.
Yeah, it's the moon, dude. It's the moon's parked there. It doesn't move. It just sits. And it's hollow. It pings whenever you shoot sound waves at it. It pings back. It's not solid.
I was listening to Neil deGrasse Star Talk today, and while I was working, and I don't know why I never like put two and two together, but he was talking about planets and moons are just rocks, whereas planets are different, like different, whatever
Yeah, moons are satellites of
elements.
planets. Yeah, moons are satellites of planets, and our planets are the planets in our
Right,
solar
but like,
system
but
are
just like, what's
satellites
the
of the
depth?
sun.
Yeah, but like, also, but just like a moon, like, isn't like doesn't have like a core, and or like doesn't have like, yeah, like how we have like layers and shit, like,
Well, that's not necessarily true,
and
though.
oxygen and yeah, gas.
No, because there's lots of different types of moons or satellites. Like you look at Europa, which is covered in ice that has liquid water below like however deep's worth of ice.
But does it have? Okay, yeah. But no, but like, okay, but what is? I guess the actual like, what is it made out of?
Our moon is fucking
Just
weird.
because it has, okay, yeah, Europa has like an atmosphere. Well, I don't know. Do we atmosphere? Do we know that?
I'm not sure if it has an
Okay, it has.
atmosphere.
Okay, let's say it has water and possibly even life, but that's on top of the rock, right? As opposed to the planet where it's like there's a magnetic core.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it depends. I mean, you got to think some of these satellites or moons could be the size of Earth. When you think about how Earth would be definitely be considered a satellite of Jupiter if we were fucking next to it. Jupiter's massive compared to how big we are. So it's all relative because some of them are really,
Well,
really
hold on.
tiny.
Also, no, with the planet, also you have to have your own gravity.
Yeah, you have to have a gravitational pull.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's got to be moons out there that have gravity. I mean, I can't say that 100% certainty, but there's.
I don't know. I'll have to go back to to Neil deGrasse and figure it out. I came into ill informed there.
Because they're all different, but I mean the atmosphere, like our atmosphere, no. I mean, what does Jupiter look like on the surface? Nobody fucking knows because you couldn't figure it out. If you shot
Oh
satellites
yeah.
and shit into it, they get eradicated before you would even get there. That's why like the whole Jupiter ascending, terrible movie, but also literally like reptilians and a prison planet and all that stuff. Their little base is on the ground in Jupiter, and Jupiter hides where they
See,
are.
the one I heard was Saturn.
But there's also Saturn. Some people say that Saturn would be, and that's a whole nother thing. But what does it look like? No one knows what the surface looks like because you could never figure it out. We couldn't send anything in there to scan it and figure it out.
Okay, so this is a fun fact. Jupiter is the only planet that exerts more energy than it takes in from the sun.
That's tight.
Jupiter is trying to be the sun, dog.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Long live Jupiter, dude.
Next therapy question.
Shout out Channing Tatum. Therapy question. He's in Jupiter Ascending with Melissa
Shout out
Milano.
Jonah Hill.
He's in Moneyball. Therapy question number 2. Would you rather fight a crocodile or a golden eagle?
Crocodile.
That's what I would say. Probably a crocodile. But why wouldn't you want to fight an eagle? Because you'd
it's
rather.
un-American.
Well, it's a golden eagle, not a bald eagle. First of all,
It's unpatriotic. No, like, okay, is a golden eagle as big as a bald eagle?
they're bigger. They're the biggest eagle.
Okay, yeah, they're like I've
They're like
seen
a 10-foot
I've seen
wingspan.
video of eagle like this recently, and how it's like as big as a human, and it's nuts, dude. It's like a dinosaur. It's like it's
They're both dinosaurs.
like I don't think people realize how big the eagles can get, and like because they're just not around us like that. But like, dude, it, having a bird, it's like a raptor that can fly. It's insane.
Yeah,
Like I would not want.
the aerial attack would be
And you want to be okay. Now,
menacing.
now think of the TikTok videos. Okay, so this is gonna get filmed, obviously, and so you want to be the dude beating up a fucking eagle, or the dude wrestling a crocodile successfully? Because I would obviously win, and then it just goes viral. Everybody, everybody loves to wrestle a crocodile. So I'll just say I was in Florida when I did it, and it would be fine.
Well, you wouldn't. I mean, alligator is more
CYA,
likely.
Joseph.
Crocodile, but we're not, okay. So if we're gonna do the biggest eagle, then we're talking like a saltwater crocodile. We're talking like a 25-foot crocodile. That's a fucking dinosaur. That would kill you in a second. Crocodiles are terrifying.
No.
It would drag your ass under
Okay,
and do
first
that
of all-
death roll shit. So you
Okay.
grab it and it would be spinning like
Death
crazy.
roll. Death
It'd be
roll.
spinning like crazy. One bite and you're
That
done.
would be rolling to death,
One
and then I'll eat it.
One bite and you're done, son.
No, dude. Okay, first of all, you turn it upside down, it goes to sleep. Like that. This is the animal I'm scared of.
I don't know. I mean, I like my chances more with the crocodile, but I mean
I
an
like
eagle.
crocodile boots.
But an eagle, I mean, if it's swooping, you time it, you hit it with a stick, you could take it down. It's not gonna be. It's because the crocodile's gonna weigh substantially more than you. You got a beak and you got talons. You got to worry about. Crocodiles are intense, man. I wouldn't fuck with a crocodile.
I'm intense.
Actually, I'd rather fight the eagle. I'd rather fight the eagle than fight a crocodile.
Mm.
Because especially if it was on the ground and it was hopping and shit.
Now, dude, I'm gonna go legend. I'll never have to buy a meal again in Tallahassee once I fucking take this crocodile down.
Like the food's good in
Mar-a-Lago?
Tallahassee. Like the food's good in Mar-a-Lago. I guess you could go take a shit and like read up on like
There's something
nuclear
that I've
secrets.
never been more certain of in my life is that the food sucks at Mar-a-Lago, dude.
It's got to.
trash.
It's gotta suck.
Trash.
Everybody's just like, oh, but they all love the house salad because the house dressing's good. But other than that, it's garbage.
Every single ingredient's only got there because it's like the cheapest way that they could possibly get it.
You're not
They don't
gonna get
spend
your
any money.
He's like, no, I'll just have the house salad. Like, you're not gonna have the gold leaf steak. No, I know. I'm tired of shitting gold. I'm tired of pooping out gold. It's slicing up my stomach. It's not good for me. You want a shot of Goldschlager? No, stop with the fucking gold. No, I'd rather fight the eagle, man. I think if it was ground level and we got to it and we were duking it out, I like my chances. It would just like
Okay,
flap
now
its
let me
wings
ask
at
you
me.
this. Who would win in a fight, a crocodile or a golden eagle?
Probably the eagle, just because there's only so much that the crocodile can do. Now, like I said, one chomp and the bird's done, but it'd be all aerial attacks.
No, the crocodile's like two-dimensional. The eagle's like fucking all over the place.
That's
dude.
what's scary about the eagle is just it can come at you from any angle, sneak attack you if it flies off. But if I go find a place with a roof, like it's gonna have to like land. It's not gonna drop through the roof and attack me. So you'd have to take away the air element and make the eagle one-dimensional. I like my chances.
Okay.
It would flap its wings at me and try to talon
you have
me.
to take down its air superiority.
Yeah, you'd have to. You'd have to take the air out of it. If you can take the air attacks out of it, I like your chances against an eagle.
On the ground.
But, like, I mean, in the water or on the ground, if you try to run away from the crocodile, it's faster than you. You got to zigzag. And somehow people forget that. They're like, he tried to run away from a crocodile. I'm like, zigzag, bro. You got to, but in a straight line, crocodiles and alligators are fast as shit. They run like upwards of 30 miles an hour. They will catch your ass in a short burst. It's true. They're fast as shit. It's like a bear. Like, you don't run from a bear.
I'm not running. This is a fight, motherfucker.
And you'd be punching down the whole
Who's
time.
running?
If you got behind it, got on its back, maybe. But I don't know, man. I wouldn't fuck with a crocodile like that.
I'd fuck with it. And its family.
Damn, dude. Shots fired out here. You heard it here first. Therapy question number 3. Should income tax be abolished? We've heard a lot of this income tax talk where Trump's doing away with income tax.
I haven't heard him say that, but
Yeah,
also you asked this before. No, it's dumb. Okay, it's like, listen, I think I mean, I haven't heard Trump say this, but I think anybody who would be saying that, it's like, would be replaced with a higher sales tax, which is a regressive tax because people who make less income spend a disproportionate amount of their income on stuff that would be charged sales tax to, like, so, and meanwhile, billionaires and billionaires wouldn't be getting taxed on their income, dude. That's fucking stupid. Not it. We just need to enforce the current tax rates, collect the money, and we'd be fine. Billionaires pay on, like, this is just a fact. This isn't like a conspiracy. It's like on, the average billionaire last year paid, I think, 8% of their income in taxes.
What about? But I mean, when they don't pay more than that, we get to see people like Katy Perry get shot into space for 10 minutes.
Well, did you? I mean, did you see the set list though for her tour?
True. Did you see that, like, the video of them when they were up? First of all, there's a lot of people who say they never went to
any of it.
Oh, it's so bad. Like, they're not paying attention. They're just, like, giggling and laughing. She sang a bunch. She was singing in space. It was kind of cringe. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it does anything. Like, if you want to do state tax in your state, what state recently abolished state tax? Was it Alabama or Mississippi? One of those racist states.
The broke states. They're like, yeah, let's get rid of more taxes. Like, we give us no money.
Yeah, no more state tax. Or, you know, school.
We don't want to do anything.
We'll give you a voucher. Therapy question number 4. Would you rather be shot or stabbed?
Shot, I guess.
Yeah, I don't want to be stabbed. That sounds awful.
It does sound terrible.
Being shot would suck.
But also, where are we talking?
Non-threatening. Like, you're going to survive. So you get shot, you're going to live. You get stabbed, you'll live. But I feel like the damn...
definitely shot. I don't know.
I'd rather be
like
shot.
A bullet's like going through like everything.
Yeah, but a stab's gonna like poke stuff and not like it's gonna. I don't know. I feel like it could do more damage. Being shot would be more clean. As
it was like in the arm, I'd rather probably get stabbed because then it's not like shattering my arm too.
True, and you just like, yeah, I got stabbed. People be like, oh shit. Someone's like, I got shot. They'd be like, no way. What? No way. What? Where? But if you get stabbed, like, yeah, man, I got stabbed the other day. People are like, holy shit.
Dude, my friend, so like my best friend freshman year, San Diego State, in my fraternity pledge bro. He's from Illinois, Chicago, and so we
Scruff McGruff.
Everybody went back to their houses or whatever, for the summer. And I hadn't talked to him in a few weeks, and I just call him, and he's like all like weird. And I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, he thought I was like, "What?" He was like, "Bro, I got shot." I was like, "What?" It's like a white, like corny kid. Like I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, he was like at a party, dude, and he just got like, and somebody busted out a gun. He was like at a party like in some like random state, like Milwaukee or something, and like yeah, and he just got shot at a party.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather be shot than stabbed. Because stabbed, too, they got to be real close to you. And they'd be like, ugh, I watch a lot of true crime stuff, and they're always like, stabbing is like a crime of passion.
Now, who's shooting you and who's stabbing you?
Someone you know. So somebody you know who's got beef with you. It's either going to stab you or shoot you. I'd rather get shot. Getting shot in the shoulder or getting stabbed in the shoulder. I'd rather, because you would be like, oh, like there's like, it would be like a whole thing. Nah. Because I'd be like, I'd rather just get shot and be like, oh, fuck, I got shot in the shoulder. Get me the fuck out of here.
I think we would rather get shot because we've seen so many people get shot on TV.
Okay.
And we have dealt with knives, and we know what like getting cut with like sucks. So it's like we know what that feels like. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, so you're just like, I'll roll
and
the dice.
like just taking a shot. It seems okay.
And whenever you see it, they're like, oh, it burns.
Yeah.
It's never
But it's
like, but when someone gets stabbed, they're
like,
like,
no, dude, it's a fucking problem, dude. You have, like,
either way,
like
it sucks.
recover for like a year, like physical therapy. You know, it's like you don't like. I don't know if like all the details of what happens when you get shot. I'm just saying. I think it's probably worse than just what I imagine. I'll just speak for myself.
Would you rather be abducted by an alien or turned to stone by an alien?
Abducted? What do you mean? Jesus Christ!
But you come back. You get turned to stone, but they can save you.
No, I don't want to be stoned, dude. What am I, Harrison Ford?
Odysseus, Medusa style.
That was a Star Wars reference.
Oh, I know, but that he wasn't turned to stone. He was just frozen in carbonite.
I know. That's why I said that, because like I don't think I got it right.
No, you're missing your references today, man.
Well, no, I don't.
Moons don't have cores. All sorts of stuff. You're saying all sorts of wild shit today.
Whoa, all sorts of
wild
moons
shit. Don't have atmosphere.
Harrison Ford wasn't in stone.
He's frozen in carbonite. He was frozen. If anything, he was in ice.
What's carbonite? It's not stone?
No, it's like a metal.
Okay. I don't know. Jesus, fucking nerd.
Yeah, a little bit. Do you need a break?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Oh, no break today. Look out. New man, new year, new year. Hit us with those popular mechanics.
Okay. From Popular Mechanics, Elena Spivak. Time could be flowing in reverse all around us and we don't even know it. New study suggests at the quantum level, the past and the future are indiscernible. That could have profound effects on the world we can see. Time's passage is non-negotiable. Its flow marks the progress of our lives, moving clearly in one direction. It is, by nature, asymmetrical. In this way, we perceive it to move like an arrow whistling forward with no possibility of ever reversing. But just because time is inevitable does not mean we completely understand it. Physicists, for instance, still wonder why, or perhaps if the arrow of time functions in one direction. In classical physics, equations function without regard for time's directionality or its preference for moving into the future or past. One way to comprehend this mathematical disregard for directionality is to look at a video of a swinging pendulum. Whether the video plays forward or in reverse, the pendulum's motion remains the same, and the time's directionality is indistinguishable. And yet, time as we experience it clearly moves in one direction. So researchers continue to search for the reason why time behaves asymmetrically. Over more than 2 years, a team of physicists in England pursued this question theoretically, seeking to mathematically derive time's arrow in open quantum systems. In a paper published in January in the journal Scientific Reports, they present results that indicate two arrows of time exist in these systems, moving in opposite directions. This discovery could urge scientists to reconsider how time's arrow impacts thermodynamics, quantum mechanics, and even the universe creation. To understand how time works at the subatomic level, the team focused on an open quantum system which is affected by its surroundings, as opposed to a closed quantum system which is isolated from its environment and outside influence. In isolation, the closed system remains the same, as nothing can touch or change it, protected from time's ravages. But as an open system interacts with its surroundings, it changes over time. In the team's framework, open quantum systems are preferable since they allow for change over time, like energy dissipating into the surrounding environment, also known as entropy. This is important to the researchers' model because it serves as proxy for the passage of time. When you see energy dissipate from a system into its surroundings, you can conclude the direction in which time is flowing. This dissipation is also irreversible. If you spill a glass full of milk, the milk can't flow back into the glass. Microscopically speaking, if you think about the arrow of time, we essentially rely on proxies, says the paper's senior author, Andrea Rocco, PhD, Associate Professor of Physics and Mathematical Biology at the University of Surrey. At the subatomic level where quantum mechanics operates, we can't always see obvious changes that indicate time's passage. Instead, we need to look at other indicators like entropy. The team expected to see just one arrow of time in their equation, Rocco says. Typically, these equations describing dissipation look different where their trajectory moves backward or forward. While the pendulum's motion looks the same forward or backward, a falling glass of milk's motion doesn't. The dissipation involved in spilt milk breaks the symmetry. This premise supports the asymmetry of time's arrow. But with the open quantum system, Rocco says they obtained slightly modified equations, which revealed two arrows of time spontaneously arising. Crucially, Rocco and his team found that entropy described in the second law of thermodynamics is preserved in their model. This law states that entropy, or a tendency toward a disordered state, increases over time within a system. In both directions of these two arrows of time, the systems will still hurtle toward disorder as energy dissipates into its surroundings or into its surrounding environment. The arrow can't reverse direction once it's set off, returning the milk to the proverbial glass. Rather, entropy progresses whether the arrow of time shoots off into the past or the future. You'd still see the milk spilling on the table, but your clock would go the other way around, says Rocco. In this way, entropy still increases, but it increases toward the past instead of the future. The milk doesn't flow back into the glass, which the second law of thermodynamics forbids, but it flows out of the glass in the direction of the past. Regardless of whether time's arrow shoots toward the future or past from a given moment, entropy will still dissipate in that given direction, producing what Rocco calls twin entropy. The twin entropy demonstrates the symmetrical nature of time in open quantum systems. From a given moment, time's arrow might have shot off in the opposing direction. The physics is actually telling us that the opposite direction might have been equally possible, Rocco says. But make no mistake, this theoretical paper isn't toying with concepts like time travel. This has absolutely nothing to do with time travel or constructing a time machine, Rocco says. Rather, this theoretical model shows in a mathematical sense that two trajectories are equally possible, one going forward and the other one going backwards from that moment. However, once the arrow chooses a given direction, the dynamics we are familiar with, like entropy, resume, and the arrow is stuck moving in that direction. That means the team's results could call into question how we think about the arrow of time in thermodynamics, cosmology, and quantum mechanics. For instance, Rocco mentions that some people speculate whether at the time of the Big Bang, two universes emerged, traveling in opposite directions in time. His team's result certainly doesn't confirm this speculation, but the theoretical framework they developed could help us reassess our assumptions of time's function in the universe. While he has no idea what the possible technological applications could be, Rocco says he's interested in understanding the mechanisms that reveals how the arrow speeds off in one direction or the other. He likens it to the network of the roads in a city. You see the roads, but you still don't know what the traffic will do, he says. Still, Rocco understands that his team's findings touch upon very profound conceptual issues about our understanding of reality. Just as this paper reveals two arrows of time arising from a single moment, it also presents clarity and complexity. The results show a new way to conceive of time, while also complicating it.
Yeah, it just sounds complicated as fuck. I mean, so he's saying that there's two possible outcomes in time and that things can go backwards or forwards. Essentially. On like a quantum level. Like a level that we can't even understand. I mean, I guess it's possible. I mean, that's why it's a theoretical. That's a theory.
Going forward or backwards? That's, you know what I'm saying.
I've always thought that if history repeats itself, or that you can't change the past, and this is going to be some like kid shit. But when I was a kid, I was always like ghosts, stuff like that. the past is currently taking place in real time around us. We just don't realize it. So if like everything's happening all at once, you're just not unaware of it. Does that make sense? So like you could be at visiting Gettysburg, and in some way or fashion that is still taking place. Like that moment in time is still like is omnipresent. So I think that time is omnipresent throughout everything, to where everything is always constantly happening. So
You think that's what dark energy is? Because
Dark matter.
dark matter, because dark matter by definition can't interact with real matter, but we know it's in everywhere in the universe. But maybe that's what it is.
It's possible, but that's why I like to think like if history repeats itself, or if our lives are on a loop, right? So let's say our lives are on a loop, and like we get born again, we go through the same experience, whatever. If you believe in like if you like reincarnation or whatever, and then maybe at some point you get the right path down, and then you get to go do whatever.
Right path by who? Says who?
It says the Lord.
Get the fuck out.
That history, that like these things are
Who's the arbiter? Who's like, ooh, you're on the right path now. It's like, see, it's like, dude, we're talking about like such like crazy like universal.
I'm saying like the
like
timeline
concepts, and then you're like, and then it boils down to if you're just a good boy, then you.
Well, I was just being condescending, but.
Yeah.
Like like most people who.
Now, dude, when you die and you go back to the universal consciousness, bro.
But like,
it's like you know what our human experience is like. Like, okay, the universal consciousness
is
that we're all part of
is the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said it last episode, and then it's like each individual wave is like us breaking out and experience it, and then we go back. That's fine. So what I'm saying is, if time runs on a loop. So, like, on the same day that Hitler dies, all these other things that have happened on that day are all happening, like, on a loop. Like, it doesn't,
That's this Sunday, April 20th.
Yeah. So I think that, I mean, I've always wondered.
That's either that or his birthday. I forget which one.
I think it's his birthday. I think it's his birthday. I think it's his birthday. But I think that it's... I've always thought, like, as a kid, of like that'd be cool if history is constantly repeating itself on this timeline. As it moves forward, it repeats what it's already done. So it's like as time moves forward, these things are reoccurring throughout all. So that's why there's ghosts. That's why people see entities. Is it's a peek into another dimension where that person's reliving that thing, or that experience is happening again, and it's always happening. Because like you can't erase time and you can't go back in time, but time is happening. So if you were to make a time machine, it would be more like so whenever you see a movie and they have a time machine and they just reappear, you're just going back to another moment on a timeline before these other things happen. But that moment on the timeline would be like it's like hitting a play button or hitting rewind. You can rewind a movie and it's still there, and you can always go back and watch that scene again. But when you go, like, the movie ends at a certain point, but you can always rewatch that movie. Does that make sense? So it'd be like you could always see these moments that have happened in time because they're always taking place constantly.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, it's just like constant, like, but then if you go back to a certain point, like right now we would be at just on the play button, and time's just moving forward, and it's continuing to write stuff, but you could go back and watch yesterday. You could relive yesterday if you wanted to. I don't know why. Yesterday kind of sucked for me, but if you wanted to, you could. But that's what a time machine would be, going back to the moment on a timeline when that was the like live feed. Like that's when live action was happening. But once it's happened, it's a part of the timeline. It's a part of history, and you could always go back to that moment like a bookmark. But going forward to the future, but going to the future would be difficult because it's like the actions that we do today lead to the future. So I think if there was anything, it'd be more possible to go backwards in time than it would be to jump forwards in time, because there's too many other decisions, interactions, and things that have to happen to reach that point. I don't think you can jump those things to get to the future, but I think you could go backwards and see what led up to the moment that you're in.
Well, think about how we could see, like when we're talking about looking, in far away, and like we're seeing like 5 billion years ago, whatever it is, um, because that's how long it took for the light to get here. So that right there. So the light, the light that it takes for them to see us, or not, somebody who's like 4 billion years like away from us, like let's say to see like us right now, isn't that like kind of like in a way you still exist? Like 4 billion years from now, if
Yeah,
somebody
that's what I'm
was
saying.
looking at like for some 4 billion years from now, if somebody who's 4 billion light years away is looking at a telescope that can reach and see Earth, and looking at us right now, they're watching what's happening right now. 4 billion years from now.
Yeah, but it'd be 4 billion
So
years in the
so
past for
in
them.
a fucking way, like you never really do like go away, dude.
Yeah, but you couldn't jump to like, oh, this is like where the universe is expanding, the edge of the universe as it's growing. That's like, yeah, like whenever we said like they can look back as far as they can in deep space, and now we're seeing things that we're not supposed to be able to see, because when we go back that far in time, we're looking towards like
Not that we're not supposed to see, that we didn't expect
to see, because those things shouldn't have been visible
Right, we
during.
didn't think stars existed yet, and all of a sudden here's galaxies.
Exactly. So if you were to go to that point right now, then I guess you'd be jumping to the future if you could just like teleport to that moment, because you'd be skipping that time that it would take for it to be visible here. So that would be different, because you'd be jumping all the way up to the future, technically. Because it'd be the future because you haven't seen it yet, and these things have already happened, but there's things that take place for that to happen. We're just not seeing it yet. So I'm like, yeah, I think it's more possible to visualize or see the past or go back in time and see something than it would be to skip ahead and get to the future, because I don't think that that's necessarily possible. Some deep shit, dog. Makes you wish I didn't quit smoking weed.
Makes me wish I did.
I know, right? Shit. I almost titled the episode after this, but then I was like, nah. I was like, I didn't want to put like Gen Z smells like sugar. I felt like that would be like, I don't know, that'd be a rough title. Might not take off.
That was the only comment from the shorty with the face. She said, just question mark on that. I told her, you know what? I don't make the rules. I just report the facts.
Yeah, I just let them know that these bitches smell like sugar, dog. That's, I don't know what you want me to say.
Oh, well, I forgot. What she said. She just replies, I think Gen Z smell like BO.
Fair. Hygiene's not important, dude, anymore.
Is that what they think?
I don't know. I was just
Gen Z, I don't think.
I don't know, just saying that. I mean, maybe. I haven't met too many stinky Gen Zers. It's more of like a wook hippie thing. Like if somebody's like, oh, I gotta put in all the requests off for my like jam bam festivals. I'm like, ooh, you smell rough. Like I get to smell you through the phone, like Soldier Boy. Like it's not good. I could just assume you smell bad. But that's my Denver bias coming out.
This is from Vox Media, Ruby Ash. Why does Gen Z smell like sugar? From Duncan, deodorant, to Sabrina Carpenter perfume, smelling good isn't enough. It's all about smelling edible. Sorry, Ruby Ash, that was for the picture. This is by Kendall Cunningham. It all seemed to start last summer when Love Island USA contestant Leah Kateb shared a TikTok video of her. Did you watch that, by the way? I did.
I did not.
Shout out, Leah. Calabasas. It all seemed to start last summer when Love Island USA contestant Leah Kateb shared a TikTok video of her fragrance collection, which included Lush's kettle corn scented body spray called Let the Good Times Roll. You just smell like caramel cake and like you're ready to be served on a decorated plate, she told her 4 million followers. Influencers began evangelizing about the sweet, buttery fragrance, noting its ability to attract compliments from strangers. Only this wasn't just the case of a cult product going viral. For several months now, my TikTok For You page has been flooded with regular consumers wanting to smell delicious. It still seems like there's only one desirable way to smell: edible, delectable, like you can literally be eaten. Whether it's sweet vanilla fragrances, Arabian perfumes featuring tonka beans, or a growing number of pistachio scents, Gen Z's most visible beauty obsession at the moment is smelling like a bakery.
Weird.
Synthetic dessert-like notes, such as vanilla, chocolate, caramel, and honey, are commonly found in perfumes. However, this blooming scent category, known as gourmand, has seen a huge boost in popularity on hashtag perfume talk and hashtag fragrance talk over the past year. The food-inspired fragrance market is on a robust growth trajectory. Last year, Spate reported that online searches for gourmand scents are growing at a rate of 77.5% year over year, with perfumers jumping on the foodie bandwagon and experimenting with more edible notes. The trend still has plenty of room to grow. Future Market Insights predicts that the Future Market Insights predicts that the gourmand fragrance market will expand from a value of $32.5 billion in 2025 to $55 billion. It's already at $32.5 billion. The gourmand.
Oh, dude, that's some goofy shit.
Billion.
I believe it.
Last year, these scents were practically unavoidable. Among other delectable fragrances, how do you say that? Kayali's.
It's like
Vanilla.
colostomy. That sounds that sounds awful.
Kayali Vanilla 28, Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex, and Saint Laurent Black Opium became viral sensations.
Yeah, that's a little bit tighter.
Kayali, dude. Like, I bet you, like, people know what that is, and I'm just like fucking it up.
They're like, oh my god, he doesn't even know what that is. Sorry, I don't smell like a fucking.
That's
not new.
I can
Bitches
get
be
down with
smelling like
dessert.
cupcakes and shit. That's been around for a while, dude.
I never thought about it.
You smell like cinnamon rolls. I just want to eat you. You can't say shit like that to people. You smell delectable.
I mean,
You can. I mean, depending on the setting, it won't last very long for you.
okay.
You smell like sugar cookies. Like, what do you mean? Like, what are we talking about here? It's not like, if you're going to do cool stuff, all they're doing is making stuff smell like a bakery. Like, if you want to smell like some
mind
food.
smelling like sugar cookies.
Like, you smell like a corn dog.
Because sugar cookies smell good.
You smell like a corn dog, bro. That's delicious. Like, that'd be cooler.
No,
if you want to smell like food. If you're going to smell like food. Don't just smell like sweets. Like, we're going to be getting these kids diabetes just walking around smelling like snickerdoodles and shit. Get out of here.
Why is that going to give them diabetes?
Because then all they're thinking about is eating sweets. So it's like, oh man, everybody around me smells like snickerdoodles, cinnamon rolls, lollipops. Like, what are you talking about? Like, then everybody's gonna be like, oh man, I'm really eating. Oh, I'm gonna eat all these sweets. Why are my feet swelling? How did I get gout? I'm gonna tell you, it's because you're hanging out with all these people that smell like a goddamn bakery. And just in the dessert section, ain't nobody in here.
So you're saying not working at a bakery, you'll get fat. You're saying smelling like a bakery.
No, they're gonna get a job at a bakery for the discount. Like,
no,
why do you
just smelling like it
why
will
do
get fat?
No, it's gonna entice you to go seek out those foods. That's what I'm saying. Like, what happened to the old days when it was like everybody smelled like cucumber melon?
So you think there's gonna be a subsequent obesity?
It's possible.
Spike
it's possible. I need to talk to Michelle Obama about this. She'd probably have something to say.
Oh, keep her hands off my kid's lunch.
If my kid wants a Route 44 ocean water with extra nerds and sugar in it, let him have it. Back up, Mr. Obama. I mean, Miss Obama. No, I mean, it makes sense, but it's kind of corny. This sounds like it's not anything new, honestly. Smelling like delicious foods. You smell like buttery shit. Like, almost it's not like you smell like butter popcorn. You smell like, oh, you smell like vanilla and buttery vanilla. Like, bitch, vanilla's been around for forever. What are you talking about?
That's what they no. They were saying that, but they're saying that it's like escalated.
That just kids found out that there's shit that smells good that is in food. Ooh, you smell like honey. Okay. I don't think it lasts long. I ain't into it. I don't get it. That's dumb. Call me old. That's fine. Old man huggy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. What is it? A body splash? Bitch, body splash has been around, and it's been the same 500 different scents of this shit for forever. So we're just mixing it up.
Okay, but at the same time, like if you told me, like, if you asked me what it like what this perfume smells like, or like what's in it, I have no fucking
I
clue,
guess
dude.
they just
That's
make
like speaking a different fucking language. I like I'm a sommelier like for fucking perfume.
you smell
No.
like red velvet cake.
Like
Nah, I'd be worried. I'd be like, bro, you always be in here.
I wouldn't even put two and two together.
You're
Like,
always in here.
That's perfume. I'd be like, that's just fucking perfume.
You smell like candy corn taste, dog. That's weird. Like
I'm
you
not
need
questioning
to...
like
this fool smells like candy corn. Like, I don't know. There's only like a couple things that would even be worth eating that it would be okay to smell with. But then I'd be worried, like, man, do you eat this shit like every day? Like, why? At some point, I wouldn't believe that it's some body
well, why?
splash.
Like maybe you could have a variety.
What's the? How big of a variety? It's not like bakery's got that much variety.
I don't know. They're selling $32.5 billion worth of the gourmand, dude. How did we not get involved in this?
And it's called gourmand. Get the
Yeah,
fuck.
dude. It's liquid in a bottle. 32.5 billion.
There's some side effects.
I didn't even know
from
the
it.
whole market was that big, like for like perfume. Are you kidding?
Well,
That's
yeah, the
crazy.
market for perfume is massive, dude.
No, I
it's-
know it is, but yeah.
I mean, I mean, at least 70% of that's got to be targeted toward females. I mean, we still got Johnny Depp selling fucking Sauvage and all sorts of shit by Estee Lauder and stuff. And I feel like the peak of the fragrance days was back when we were kids, and there was always some motherfucker whispering, being like, "Obsession." There was always like really weird, awkward ass commercials. And now it's just like, nah, man.
Still is, dude.
But now on TikTok, people can sell whatever. They're like, do you want to smell like candy corn? Do you want to smell like buttered up popcorn from a movie theater?
Fuck
Like,
candy corn. I want to smell like street corn.
that'd be tight, elote. See, if that's how you think outside the box, and you make like an elote
And
fragrance,
outside of the bun.
boom. You think outside the box and bun. And yeah, you do like, I smell like corn dogs. Like, bro, like we would dog somebody for smelling like corn dogs. No pun intended. You'd be like, man, you smell like corn dogs every day,
That's
bro.
on dog, dog.
And he'd be
That's
like,
on dog.
oh, I bought this fragrance off TikTok, like to smell like a corn dog. Like how am I?
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's
that's
limited.
not-
We're
you're-
talking.
You're okay. You're not. You're picking like something that smells like kind of good. Like,
But you don't want
I-
to smell like that every
I
day.
like the hot dog on a stick. Like
I
at the
like
mall.
corn. I like corn. Yeah, but you don't want to smell that every day. Ask the person
No,
who
but
works there.
but
who
I don't.
works there and goes home like that every day. Find their significant other
when
and be
I
like, that
smell
motherfucker.
it, I have pleasant thoughts.
It makes
when
you
I smell
want
it.
to go eat a corn dog. So these
Yes.
people are exactly. And if
So why are you picking the corn dog as the
and
representative
if you ate
of
if you ate-
the bad one?
eat 2 corn dogs every day, come find me in 20 years and we'll talk about your
Yeah,
health.
I'm telling you, if there's a corn dog perfume out there, I want to smell it because it might smell good.
See, that's how you crack the gourmand market.
Code.
Is no, the market is you come up with things that they're not doing, because everybody's like, oh, I smell like ice cream. What the fuck does ice cream smell like? I know what it tastes like. So is it gonna taste like it's? Are you gonna smell like ice cream tastes? That's weird. Like, that's what I'm saying. You smell like cotton candy.
Who said they smell like ice cream?
There's a picture of ice cream on the graphic of this shit. This bitch is surrounded by some sort of mysterious white candy, ice cream sandwiches. You smell like you,
Why she gotta be a bitch?
you smell like cause she's sitting there gassing up the whole picture. There's smoke everywhere. She said, "Chill out." She just got out the shower with her hair all wrapped up. So there's what a candy, mysterious candy, a cupcake. Okay, what looks like red velvet cake with strawberries, ice cream, cotton candy. I don't want to be around. I could if I was dating a girl when she worked at a cotton candy stand and she came home every day smelling like cotton candy. That ain't lasting. Sorry, babe. You gotta find a new gig. You need to like rotate stands or something because you always come home smelling like cotton candy, and I'm over it. This is like gimmicky as shit. It was started by somebody on Love Island, USA.
I couldn't imagine getting this upset about what perfume my girlfriend was wearing.
I'm not that upset.
Unless it smelled like shit. I was just whatever's going on, bro.
Yeah, but if she was smelling like cinnamon rolls all the time, first question is how
I like cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, so why aren't you sharing them? What do you mean?
Well, that's true.
Because you smell like them every day. Why aren't you sharing them? Why are you cooking them and not hooking me up? Like, oh no, I'm not. It's my perfume. I'd be like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Where's
the Pillsbury Doughboy at?
Yeah, why are you doing that to me? I was about to fight you for some cinnamon rolls. Felt like you were holding out on me. Come to find out, you just want to walk around smelling like cinnamon rolls? Okay.
Dude, not only the cinnamon rolls, but like the other Pillsbury rolls, like or like
the orange rolls are the best, bro.
Well,
orange
like the croissants, and then you can like use that batter or whatever.
Yeah, to make what? Yeah, yeah.
To make other shit. I don't do that enough.
True, but I mean,
Pillsbury Doughboy.
I'm just not. Nah, bro. That's not smelling like sugar. That's smelling like diabetes, bro. You smell like you got. I'm worried about you. What's your diet? Like I'm gonna have more questions than answers, and then you're gonna bust out a little bottle of body spray, Gourmand, and I'm gonna be like, "Get at it." I'm gonna roll my eyes at you. Call me old, but
Gourmand is the category.
Well,
it's not like it's not the brand.
Well, I don't know the brands. It's just some random.
I think it's all the same brands, right?
Included Lushes, so it's Lush.
I mean, maybe it's new brands, but like, no, Gourmand is the.
I know. I know.
I'm just saying, like, that's insane in itself.
Lush's kettle corn scented body spray called Let the Good Times Roll. So these girls are picking up this spray, this fragrance from the place that only sells bath bombs. Get out of here, bro. Sorry, can't do it. Nope.
Rather they sold bath salts, you know what I'm saying?
That too, but I'm sure. I mean, but that's fine in a bath bomb or a bath salt. It's not. Don't be walking around.
You ever do bath salts and then put a bath bomb in?
Yeah, sometimes we double up. Sometimes we double.
You ever try to fight the bath salts? You know, like people like when they take Ambien and they try to fight sleeping. Sometimes like when you take bath salts, you try to fight the crazy.
Well, that's when you smoke bath salts.
Is that what you do? I have no clue what even bath salts are.
A bath salt, like Epsom salt, you put that in the bathtub. You put that like Epsom salt. You put it in the bathtubs. You soak. It helps your bones and joints.
That's not actually what they're doing, is it?
That's what you're supposed to do. But Epsom salt, yeah, you put it in your bathtub and you soak in it. It helps.
Talking about the drugs.
No, bath salts. I think it's just a category for like weird random crack that people make and sell at like head shops and shit. I don't think people are actually like.
I know it's not actually
smoking Epsom salt.
I know that. I just don't know what the compound is for bath salts.
And we're not
the street drug.
We're not supposed to know. That's the whole point. Okay. That's like being like, I don't know what's in K2. No one does, so don't smoke that shit. And then they'll outlaw it and they'll come.
I'll race you in K1.
Hey, I had some K2 states. K2 Backyard Bob style points. Those were lit. Hit some kink rails in them hoes.
Speaking of kink. Next article.
Great segue.
From Rolling Stone. By Nikki McCann Ramirez and Ryan Bort. Trump and Bukele bond over human rights abuses in Oval Office meeting. Nayib Bukele said he won't return a man the U.S. mistakenly deported, while Trump teased sending American citizens to El Salvador's torture prisons. For the audience, Bukele is the dictator of El Salvador. He calls himself the coolest dictator. I think you gotta call yourself the coolest. You're probably not that cool.
Facts.
I like to call him the cryptator because he's into the crypto, but he's got paper hands. He had to get all the Bitcoin out of there so he could go get his suck on the teat of the International Monetary Fund. That's right. Okay, to the article. Welcomed El Salvador's president and self-proclaimed world's cool. Oh, there it is in the fucking article. Proclaimed world's coolest dictator Nayib Bukele to the White House on Monday amid a backdrop of controversy and court battles over his administration's shipment of hundreds of migrants to El Salvador's notorious prison system without due process. While taking questions from the press in the Oval Office, Bukele said he would not return Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a Maryland man the Trump administration admitted it wrongfully deported after accusing him of being a member of MS-13, to the United States. Trump, meanwhile, lashed out at the press for asking about Abrego Garcia's return and expressed interest in sending American citizens to El Salvador's prisons. How long do we have to answer this question? Trump griped when CNN's Caitlin Collins asked him why he wouldn't bring Abrego Garcia back, despite saying last week that he will respect the decision of the Supreme Court, which ruled that the administration must indeed bring him back. Why don't you just say, isn't it wonderful that we're keeping criminals out of our country? Why can't you just say that? Trump continued to Collins. That's why no one watches you anymore. Bukele and Trump have been publicly forging a partnership centered around extending the judicial black hole of El Salvador's prisons to the United States as a tool for Trump's deportation agenda. Last month, the Trump administration sent over 200 Venezuelan and Salvadorian migrants into Bukele's custody, depositing them into the notorious Center for Terrorism Confinement, CECOT, mega prison without a hearing, criminal charges, or conviction. With little information regarding the whereabouts and conditions of those sent to El Salvador, the so-called deportations could constitute illegally enforced disappearances under international law and violations of American civil rights law. On Sunday, the Trump administration claimed it had no responsibility to facilitate the return of Abrego Garcia to the U.S. despite an order from the Supreme Court. Abrego Garcia has never been charged or convicted of any crime, much less a gang-related one. Bukele has imprisoned tens of thousands of Salvadorians without trial or due process, raising the nation's incarceration rate to 2% of the entire population, the highest in the world. Human rights organizations have documented extensive abuse, torture, or even murder of prisoners within El Salvador's prisons, with prisoners having virtually no recourse to seek justice. In the White House on Monday, Bukele claimed that by imprisoning thousands, he had liberated millions, and encouraged Trump to do the same. They say that we imprisoned thousands. I said we liberated millions. To liberate that many, you have to imprison some, he told Trump. Who gave him that line? You think I could use that? Trump replied in a laugh. Bukele also said that he would not help smuggle a terrorist into the United States when asked if he would allow Abrego Garcia to be released from El Salvador's custody. I don't have the power to return him to the United States, Bukele said of the man currently trapped in his own prison system. White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller defended Abrego Garcia's unlawful detention, practically yelling at reporters gathered in the room that returning him to the United States would be akin to kidnapping a citizen of El Salvador. Miller once again baselessly asserted that Abrego Garcia was a member of MS-13, which rapes little girls, murders women, murders children, is engaged in the most barbaric activities in the world. Attorney General Pam Bondi also lied about Abrego Garcia's situation, telling reporters that he was an MS-13 member who was illegally in the United States. Bondi also said it's up to El Salvador whether Abrego Garcia is returned to the Supreme Court. If they wanted to return him, we would facilitate it, meaning provide a plane, she said. Abrego Garcia was in the United States legally at the time of his deportation, and the Trump administration said in a court filing that he was mistakenly sent to El Salvador due to an administrative error. The Supreme Court ruled 9-0 that the administration needs to bring him back to the United States. The administration has been reluctant to comply. As previously reported by Rolling Stone, the Trump administration has also been looking into how to send naturalized citizens to El Salvador. When asked on Monday about the nature of those plans, Trump indicated that he was open to deporting criminals and that the Justice Department was studying the laws around potential ways to do so. I like to go a step further. I said it to Pam Bondi, the Attorney General. I don't know what the laws are. We always have to obey the laws, but we also have homegrown criminals that are absolute monsters. I like to include them in the group of people to get them out of the country, the president said. Given that the vast majority of the migrants sent to El Salvador so far have no existing criminal records, despite the accusations of terrorism leveled against them by the administration, it's safe to say that the White House's definition of criminality is no safeguard for justice.
Stupid.
So dumb, dude. It's like he's saying that they admitted that they sent this guy there by mistake, but then they're also saying nothing they can do about it. And then they, in the same sentence, they're saying that they want to be able to send American criminals to. It was like, but well, oh, oops, we sent somebody who didn't commit a crime, but we can't get him back now.
But he was a criminal.
So you accidentally sent an American citizen by mistake to an El Salvador prison, and you wouldn't get him back, and that's what you were like want us to get on board with? What the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, it's crazy.
The trains to the ghettos, bro, have started.
Like, it's in 9. We got a lot of fuckheads on our Supreme Court 9-0. I haven't seen them rule 9-0 on anything in forever.
And Stephen Miller, not in that article, but when he was like in that moment, he was trying to tell everybody that the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 in their favor. That's what he said. He's just gaslighting, like he's just like quoting the fucking Supreme Court, just making up quotes, but saying that like that's what this judgment said, like just like complete, just not at all what it said at all. 9-0 in our favor. It's like what?
Yeah, I mean, and what Trump said.
I think he thinks he's gonna go to jail or something, dude. Cause he's like the one who's like coming up with like these fucking schemes. He's like staying out, like he's like gets into the details of how he can. He probably loves like fucking these people over. Also, like, do you think that on purpose, or okay, do you think that they're so incompetent that like okay, they want to do millions of deportations. They just did 200 and fucked them all up. Like, they're not gonna fuck up way more if they try to go get 1 million people? Are you kidding? And then do you think that they're like fucking it up because they're idiots, or do you think that they're purposefully getting people who like didn't do anything just to see if they can get away with it?
Yeah, I think they're trying to see if they can get away with it,
or scare everybody.
I think there's a lot of do it first, ask for forgiveness later going on with this administration, and that's what they're doing. They're like doing shit, and then they're like, oh, my bad, or oh, sorry, I didn't mean. They're like totally doing that because I don't think that they're that stupid. That I think they're stupid enough to make an administrative error, but I do also think that they're trying to see if they can get away with it, how far they can push it, what the boundaries are.
Like they don't give a shit if you are a criminal, and they want to deport American citizens. So like, who the fuck?
They're gonna start this.
Everybody needs to stop thinking like this won't happen to me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like, this is crazy.
Well, the first thing they'll start doing is deporting like professors, journalists, people that they don't agree with or who have voiced malcontent with what they're doing. Those are the first people. That's why he's like, well, we're looking into it.
Yeah.
So if he could sue somebody and take them to court, well, they're a criminal, let's just deport them. This is some like Gestapo crazy bullshit. It's fucking nuts. And people are like, I can't believe they're doing this. Court totally can. This is exactly why people were so adamant about him not getting him back into office. Is this like revenge tour? It's super cringy. It's beyond cringy. It's just disheartening to see like what this country is becoming. And like I said, 9-0 against him. So I don't know. He's burning a lot of bridges with people.
Okay, so listen.
Hold on. Let me finish my thought. He's burning a lot of bridges with people that he might need to support him later if he does get in trouble with stuff. Like, you know, whenever we saw him give the State of the Union address and Amy Coney Barrett was there and the disgusted looks she was giving him with that stuff, because none of those people can agree with this. Because if we allow this, then that means that, like, oh man, well, that's where it's like, well, the Democrats in power next election cycle and we're going to deport fucking Supreme Court justices.
Nobody, because that's not what we do, dude.
I know, but what I'm saying is laying down the scaffolding for this is dangerous. Like, this is, it's unchecked. It's like we're allowing them to build a house that couldn't pass a single building code or inspection and is not fire safe at all. And they're building this fucking house and we're letting them do it and they're telling the city to fuck off. And then if somebody comes in and tries to add to it, like, this building's going to catch fire, man. Like, we're watching the erosion of...
I mean, we're 3 fucking months in, dude. It's like, I mean, how much, like, how much scarier shit could, like, or how much, like, closer to, like, a dictator crazy person could you, get to, like, than deporting fucking people? This dude's got, like, kids here, all American citizens. Like, you know, it's like he's never committed a fucking crime. Like, just snatched out of his house. And he has no idea that he's, like, on the nightly news or anybody's even talking about him, because he's just, and, like, you know, like, to be honest, we don't have proof of life. All we've heard is the Trump administration say, yeah, he's good. It's like,
no, that dude,
I mean, maybe they don't want to send him, maybe they don't want to bring him back because
he's
not alive.
I think that's more likely than them just being like, no. I think they realize that, like, this dude's probably gotten shanked, shivved. So I mean, it's just like, or it's the Roy Cohn Trump philosophy: never ever admit you're wrong, even though they already had to do that in fucking court. They demoted the person who admitted that in court to, like, a different job, like, kicked him out of that job. But so it could be just like, fuck you, we're not going to do it because that's, like, what Trump does. Or it could just be like, let's see how far we can get away with, like, yeah.
You know.
I think they're trying to see how much they can get away with.
But it's like this fucking poor fucking dude. Like, that's better. Like, hopefully this is like an uproar, like where, like, it's like this, like, this, and, you know, like, well, I mean, the fucking tariffs, like, ridiculous.
Well, I don't think that people. I think he's trying to see, yeah, like, what he can get away with, because there's probably a list of people he wants to deport.
Of course, and you know, if he can,
he's gonna be like Fauci. He's gonna do all these people that he blames for all this stupid shit. We're gonna deport Hunter Biden. We're gonna deport all these people. That's what he's trying to do.
What the fuck were people thinking, that this is somebody you want running a country?
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic.
This is the best guy you guys got.
This is it. This is the best. This is it. This is your king.
You tell your kids this is, like, the guy that, like, you want them to be like when they grow up.
For some people, yeah.
That's fucking gross.
It is gross, man. It's gross, and it's, like I said, it's disheartening because it's making it to where it'd be hard. It's gonna be hard for people to, like, speak their minds. Like I said, it'll be journalists, it'll be politicians he doesn't agree with, people he has grudges with. That's where, if he can get away with it and nothing happens, that's, I think we started with, like, 200 people. And, like, you can't do that. And El Salvador, of course, they're not going to give him back. They're fucking, we're getting paid to give them. So it's like, essentially, they're going to have to return an item and give money back. And
no, that's not what it is. It's not about that.
I know it's not, but that's essentially what it is, because we got paid.
That's not, El Salvador's not going to cause an international fucking crisis because of some, like, a couple of dollars. They're causing an international crisis because he's trying to fucking tout his spot, like, on the fucking global stage.
I know, but what I'm saying is the trade of prisoners with El Salvador is something that's transactional.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what I'm saying, is this came down to a financial
private prison bullshit.
Yeah, so he has no incentivization to give them back. And El Salvador did have a large gang problem. That was his big thing when he stepped into power, was, I'm going to clean up all these gangs. We're going to get rid of these people. We're going to build these big ass mega prisons, lock all these violent people up, and make the people safe. And now it's become a big fucking money grift for him. So he has no incentivization to give this guy back at all. He's like, I want more. Give me more. I'm not giving anybody.
Well, yeah, he's a psycho. He sucks, dude. Like, he's a nepo baby, by the way. Don't ever forget that.
How so? How is he a nepo baby?
His dad was like fucking running shit down in El Salvador, and then he like I don't know, might have been like disgraced or something. Something happened, but like then he came up. He's like a fucking Mohammed bin Salman, dude. Like he was like this. He was like the ambitious one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up, man. It's pretty sad. It's pretty fucked up and sad that this is like what our administration's doing. This is how we're choosing
But
to
he
wait.
fucking told y'all, dude. He told y'all he was gonna do this.
No, he told everybody. That's and a lot of people. I mean,
Like, I remember my buddy. He's like, you know, good guy, whatever. He's like, he's just rich out here in California. And he texted me like he's like supporting Trump. I was like, dude. I was like, all right, bro. Well, good luck. I was like, let me know how it works out when the deportations start. And I was like, before this shit, like before he even got into office. And it's like I just knew, like, as soon as like that starts happening, it's gonna like the mood is gonna change. It's gonna be like, oh, and it's like, yeah, like I don't think people fully realized like what that meant. It's like, yeah, like Biden was deported more people per month than Trump did in his first 3 months, I think, like or like just in his last 3 months too. Like I mean, like Trump's like incompetent with it, but it's not about the numbers at this point. It's like about who he's deporting, how he's going about it. It's
like
like
a fear tactic.
it's fucking extrajudicial, like dudes in hoods rolling up on like a chick who signed an op-ed at like a college, dude. It's like fucking stupid. Not stupid. It's like
Illegal.
yeah, but yeah, it's like fucking like a Keystone Mafia, Keystone
Keystone
like,
Cops.
KGB shit. KGB shit.
Yeah, no, it is.
Nazis.
It is. It's some Gestapo shit. That's what I said earlier.
It's like wannabe Gestapos, dude. It's like cosplaying as Gestapos.
Which is Stephen Miller's favorite Halloween costume.
Exactly. That's what it is. This is Stephen Miller's project, dude. It's just, you know, it's just Stephen Miller's like finally like, oh yes, I get to do it. Yeah.
Fucking tool.
Santa Monica fascist Stephen Miller. Sorry.
All right, now to the cool story.
All right, final article, y'all, from the LA Times by Richard Winton. Millions in gold, jewels stolen by burglars who tunneled into downtown LA jewelers. In a security video of the weekend break-in, a massive drill can be heard carving through the main castle-like wall, making a hole big enough for a person to slip through to enter Love Jewels, Reina de Oro at Broadway and 5th Street. Millions of dollars in gold and jewels were stolen from a downtown Los Angeles jeweler's 2 enormous safes after burglars tunneled into the Broadway shop through multiple reinforced walls, police said. In a security video of the weekend break-in, a massive drill can be heard carving through the main castle-like wall, making a hole big enough for a person to slip through. I just read that. Los Angeles police say the thieves sometime between Sunday night and Monday morning cut through a room next to the gold merchant at 510 South Broadway. LAPD Commander Lillian Carranza said the owners informed the department that the thieves took about $5 million worth of merchandise. In an interview with KTT TV, the owner said the loss was upwards of $20 million.
Tight.
The store with heavy security is known for being the source of bling for rappers, artists, and some gangsters. On social media, the store boasts images of personal necklace tributes, gold Rolex watch straps, diamond-encrusted miniature AK-47s, M4 trinkets, and enormous racks of gold chains. Investigators say the burglars, after entering, cut the security camera feeds so there are no images of them inside the business. But LAPD forensic experts are examining the scene for fingerprints and DNA. The jewelers uncovered the massive heist Monday morning when they arrived at their shop. Investigators believe the likely high-level professional burglars spent several hours inside the business.
I mean, that's tight. That's what I've said. Is like, if you were always, I'd be a bank robber, steal jewels and shit. That's cool as fuck. Like, number one, it's all insured, so they're gonna get their money back. Number two, nobody was hurt. That's crafty as shit. That's some Ocean's 11 shit. That's cool as fuck. Like, don't go do this. I don't condone people
You're
stealing.
saying everybody wins?
Kinda, yeah.
We win. We get the content.
Yep. They get their money back, so they're gonna get cash for shit.
We're gonna get another
gaudiest.
Benny Affleck, Matty D, maybe.
That's
maybe.
like that's gonna be. Well, I think it's George Clooney and Brad Pitt, but Ben Affleck wasn't in Ocean's 11.
Oh, you're right.
You're
I was
fucking up today, dude.
I'm not talking about Ocean's
Goodwill
11. I'm
Hunting
talking about the town.
too. But no, but I mean that's super creative, very well plotted out. That's fucking cool. Like if you're gonna go rob a bank, rob something like that, and you can do it where in the dead of night, don't get caught, slip out. They're obviously, I mean, what they stole a bunch of gaudy ass jewelry nobody was gonna buy, gold AK-47s and shit. If anything, the chances of it being an inside job by somebody who owns that business to be like, fuck, dude, we made them a lot of stupid shit. We need to get rid of this. Someone come rob us. That's tight. They're gonna melt all that shit down. They're gonna rip.
Oh, you're saying it's an inside job, dog?
It's possible. Most of these end up being.
You smell an inside job?
Most of these end up being some sort of inside job with an inside guy. Because you'd have to know how to cut through the wall, where the wall is to get into that area. You'd have to scout it out. You'd have to know the building to know where to cut a hole in a wall.
I mean, it's downtown LA. I'm sure you could probably figure that out without like.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Because at the end of the day, you'd still have to be able to get access to it and get to a point to where you're seeing these things and know where they are to chart it out on the other side of the wall.
Oh, you need physical eyes on the property.
Yeah, you'd need to see where
if you're gonna do a job.
Yeah. Because if it's a big ass bank or it's a big ass jewelry store and they're keeping shit in a room and you're like, all right, we're gonna cut a hole in this room. I need to know where this room and where this is on the wall so that I know what it is on the other side. It's not just like you can't randomly cut a hole. This is very well plotted out, man. That's badass.
Okay, well the tough part here is
it's cool as fuck.
To unload it, like
that's easy.
No, like okay, he said $20 million to who? Like who's gonna pay $20 million for this stolen jewelry?
Well, you would end up that's their price, so you wouldn't get 20. You'd probably get somewhere around like 10 or 12 because you'd have to melt everything down. You'd melt.
That's what I'm saying. Is it
melt the gold.
Actually worth it, or are they saying it's worth that because of like the design?
Probably the design and the insurance and what they were going to sell it for? But you would take out all of the jewels and stuff, all the diamonds out. You'd sell those off individually. You could make fucking rings out of them. You would get rid of that stuff. You'd melt the gold down, put it in gold bars, in nondescript gold bars. You could get rid of that shit easy.
All right, for sure.
Like jewelry is.
Then what a come up. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm proud of them. Shout out those guys.
If you hurt somebody, that's fucked up.
That's literally it. That's it. You're good for the rest of your life and your kids' life and your kids' life. That's one day's work, like just like boom. I mean, obviously, like there's prep, but like you know what I'm saying, and like you just get out, get in, like or get in, get out, and then it's just like done.
That's why stealing.
You won.
That's why stealing bills, bonds, anything like that's kind of corny because those are hard to move. Bills are marked. Everything's tracked so they can figure out, oh, this is somebody paid, somebody tried to deposit these bills
Bitcoin's
that were
on the blockchain.
Yeah, but I mean, jewels, diamonds, gold, precious metals, and valuables and gems are very easy to move. That's where it's like if you stole, like it's not like it's the Hope Diamond or some big ass fucking rock. But even then, you could take the Hope Diamond and smash that shit, break it up into a bunch of other smaller diamonds, and then polish those up and sell them. But you'd make less than what it was for, but you'd still make something. Somebody's always gonna buy that shit. Go find a fence, as they call it, where you find somebody that purchases stolen jewelry, stolen goods, changes it, and resells it. You'd find somebody, but you wouldn't get more street or market. You wouldn't get market value for it. You'd get less. But the gold, you would get market value for
you
that.
Less. Like I understand you have to take a discount when you're trying to launder this shit. Like basically, you're trying to get
It's like stolen art. Somebody will buy a stolen painting.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's like this guy. He had 2 Picassos at his house. Me and the homies were like, and they were just like on the wall, talking about stealing them. And then it's like we all had like when we were like 17, we were like smoking like we like kind of like scheming like dude, what if we stole those Picassos? And then it's like we all have the realization: what the fuck are we going to do with two Picasso? Where are we going to sell? Us 17-year-olds gonna find somebody that we could sell Picassos to that like wouldn't like inform the police that these kids are like selling Picassos and that like get real money, you know? It's like
Oh, that'd be really difficult. But that's why most people who steal art, steal paintings, sculptures, things like that are normally art enthusiasts, and they keep it and they have it because they like the painting and they keep it and they don't care. It's like a sentimental thing where they're like, "Oh, I have this Rembrandt that I stole. It sits in this vault that nobody ever gets to see because if they did, they'd know that I have the stolen piece of art." But there's a whole market for
well,
stolen art.
you know what I could get is like getting like telling somebody like to go steal art for me if I was like a rich guy, right? But I don't know about like if being so into art that I'm gonna go steal like a $20 million art piece. But like I might be like, yo, dude, if you go steal that, I'll buy it from you.
Well, that's what I'm saying is there's guys who will
I wonder what that's like.
will
You think
will
that's what it's like? There's like these guys are getting commissioned to go steal art
there's people that steal that buy
with the
stolen
buyer ahead of time.
yeah, that buy stolen art. There's a whole market for it. There's a whole black market for people that buy stolen art that are extremely rich and want this shit
I
because
wonder
it's
if
like a
there's
status.
bounties is there bounties on this like Mona Lisa? Yo, dude, 50 mil out there. Anybody want to steal the Mona Lisa? I'll pay 50 mil for it. What if somebody said that?
There's like the Gardner Museum that got robbed, which was they stole like a Rembrandt and a bunch of other stuff.
Way more than 50 million.
They stole tons of stuff, tons of artwork. It's a crazy story. There's documentaries on it. There's a podcast about it. Super fucking cool. But how they did it, they dressed up as cops. They went in there. They cut shit out of frames, which is a no-no, and rolled them up, took them out, and they got it. And they can't find any of this art. You know why? Because somebody probably fucking bought it from them and would rather have the painting than admit that they bought stolen art. There's billionaires who've got stolen pieces of art. I bet you the likelihood of Bezos having.
I mean, isn't all art stolen?
Okay, okay, Mr. Meta. What I am, but
Take pictures.
but like, does Elon probably have a piece of art that's stolen that nobody sees?
Art.
Probably. I mean, it's more likely than not because he has the means to it. There's a market for it, but you have to have a lot of money to do it. As or with jewelry, you could sell them to pawn shops. You could make a bunch of fucking rings. You could open it. You could steal $1 million worth of diamonds and just open up an Etsy shop. And it'd be hard.
You sell diamonds on Etsy?
I don't know. You could be the first.
I thought it was like arts and crafts.
You could. I mean, you could make engagement rings and jewelry out of it and sell it. You could easily do that. You could find
what I'm doing with diamonds.
You could find a local jeweler who makes his own jewelry and would buy unmarked, nondescript diamonds from somebody for, hey, here's $1 million worth of diamonds. He'll be like, I'll give you $400,000 for it.
Well, I only steal blood diamonds, so.
Because he'd be like, I could get in trouble for having this. I don't know where they came from. That's like blood diamonds. That's why the whole market exists. There's a great documentary called The Ambassador. I want to say it's The Diplomat, where this guy, he has a documentary where he went to North Korea on one of them. But this one, he purchases diplomatic immunity from Liberia, pays for it, buys it. And the whole purpose of the documentary is he goes into the Central African Republic and the CAR and goes and tries to leave with uncut blood diamonds. He tries to go in, use his diplomatic immunity to leave the country with illegally ill-gotten diamonds. And it's a crazy fucking documentary. Motherfuckers die, all sorts of stuff. And he's, at the end of the day, he's this Swedish guy, this big, like 6'5" Swedish ginger. He ends up getting away with it because there's a whole market for it. There's a whole black market for stolen jewelry, stolen art, all that shit exists. It's about knowing the right people. It's the same like if you found $1 million worth of cocaine in a duffel bag in the bushes, it'd be really hard for you to sell it one by one. But if you knew somebody who moved coke or you knew a local dealer,
sell it.
You could give it to that guy and be like, look, I got $1 million worth of coke. Just give me $300K and I'm gonna walk away. I want nothing to do with it. That guy'd buy it from you. he'd be like, oh, fuck yeah. Because he's already in that business. He's already in that realm. That's free product for him. So he's going to make money off of it. And he's already taking those risks. Those people exist, man. Like, there's a whole underground network for shit like that. But jewels, gems, gold, silver, platinum, those metals, because all that shit can be melted down. You can just you watch the guys like Johnny Tran and all these dudes who like have Trax New York who make these gaudy ass pieces of jewelry. They'll have Instagram videos where they melt all that shit down and put it in a gold bar. Did
you mention Johnny Tran because you're trying to get the Harris County vote?
Maybe. You know, still Tipman.
See what I did there? Johnny Tran, shout out Houston.
But you could easily melt that shit down and make a gold bar, put like a fucking Turkish stamp on it, and sell it. Hold on to it. And in 10 years, be like, hey, I got this Turkish gold I bought, yada, yada, yada. Somebody would pay you market value for that and not think twice about it. Fuck yeah. They're just like, I just want the fucking gold. It'd be easier to do that than with the jewels. The jewels, you'd have to find a way to move them. Probably your best bet would be to set them in.
What's an M4 trinket?
No fucking clue.
You know what that was remind me of, though? It was that pistol on the necklace that was wrapped around my doorknob. Christmas Eve.
Are we telling that story?
No, we didn't think we did, but like. Yeah. Anyways, you ready?
Yeah, you got anything else for us, man?
Meditate, bitches.
Well, keep a lookout, guys, because I think I've got it set up. I'm going to try it next week. We're going to try to stream on the TikTok and stream on Instagram at the same time. More platforms available. I've been tinkering with the layout to make it vertical for you guys, but make sure you just like, follow, subscribe, comment, share, review, whatever. What the fuck ever. We love that you guys listen every week, and we're getting up there and listeners across all platforms. What was the number? Almost 7K? Damn. That's pretty awesome. When you sent me that number, I was like, that's badass. Fuck yeah. And shout out Iran for listening. Please don't hurt us.
Yeah. And hey, Ayatollah, go fuck yourself. Not to step on your toes.
Yeah. No, you're good. No, yeah. I mean, the Ayatollah can go fuck himself. But no, as always, we appreciate you guys. Like, follow, comment, subscribe, whatever. But be good, be safe, stay out of trouble. Don't do drugs unless you really want to. And as always, go fuck yourselves.
Now we're going to have a fat schwa put on us. Shout out.
Get some beers and get chuggy.